पर इस सेवा रूपी अंकुर का बीजारोपण किया। साप्ताहिक मुलाकात, छात्राओं से संभाषण और नए कल्पनाओं को लेकर यशस्विता की उड़ान भरी। सेवांकुर के अंतर्गत अनेक उपक्रम संपन्न होते हैं। उनमें से प्रमुख 4 उपक्रमों के बारे में संक्षिप्त में बताना चाहती हूँ। एक सप्ताह देश के नाम, यह सबसे बड़ा और एक अनोखा उपक्रम अनेक वर्ष से भारत के दुर्गम भागों में चलते आ रहा है और 2 से 70 विद्यार्थी, 30 कंसल्टेंट मेडिकल कैंप और बौद्धिक सत्र का आयोजन करते हैं। पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट कैंप, यह विद्यार्थियों के शारीरिक एवं मानसिक विकास में मदद करता है और उनका मनोबल बढ़ाता है। तीसरा है वर्षा सहल, सबसे आकर्षक और सहजीवन का आनंद देती है। बरसात में सहल का आनंद द्विगुणित हो जाता है। दीपावली सहभोजन, भारत का यह सबसे बड़ा त्योहार कंसल्टेंट के घर अथवा किसी छात्र के घर सब मिलकर मनाते हैं, सहभोजन का आनंद लेते हैं। और अभी जो नया उपक्रम चलाया है गत 1 वर्ष से, कोरोना लसीकरण की जन जागृति, तो लास्ट 1 ईयर में, गत 1 वर्ष में कोरोना महामारी के चलते सेवांकुर के कंसल्टेंट डॉक्टर्स और छात्राओं ने मिलकर अनेक शहर में एवं गांवों में कोरोना की जन जागृति, स्क्रीनिंग टेस्ट और कोरोना लसीकरण की जन जागृति का अभियान अभी तक चला रहे हैं। गत 1 वर्ष से हम कोरोना से लड़ रहे हैं। इस एक वैश्विक महामारी से हम लड़ रहे हैं और अनेक नकारात्मक परिस्थितियां आई, परंतु हम डटे रहे। एकत्रित श्रम, नियमों का पालन और दृढ़ विश्वास, इनके साथ अंधकार से प्रकाश की ओर, मतलब ही नेगेटिव से पॉजिटिव की ओर ले जाने में हम इस कार्यक्रम हेतु प्रयास करते हैं। जैसे भगवान श्री कृष्ण ने भगवत गीता में कहा है, कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन। ऐसे ही कुछ हमारे आज के प्रमुख अतिथि, जिन्होंने जन सेवा में अपने जीवन को निस्वार्थ भाव से समर्पित किया है, ऐसे मृदुभाषी डॉक्टर आर बालसुब्रमण्यम सर का परिचय करने हेतु मैं मेरे सहकारी मित्र MIMSR मेडिकल कॉलेज के लातूर के विद्यार्थी देवांग कुलकर्णी को आमंत्रित करना चाहती हूँ।
धन्यवाद। मुझे यहाँ उपस्थित सभी लोगों को यह बताते हुए अत्यंत हर्ष हो रहा है कि मानद मुख्य अतिथि डॉक्टर आर बालसुब्रमण्यम हमारे बीच आज उपस्थित है। सेवांकुर की ओर से मैं हमारे अतिथि का स्वागत करता हूँ। वे सफलता और उपलब्धि की ओर प्रयास करने के लिए युवाओं को जोड़ने की दिशा में काम करते आ रहे हैं। हमारे निमंत्रण को स्वीकार करने और आज के कार्यक्रम को मुख्य अतिथि बनने के लिए हम उनके बहुत आभारी हैं। आप एक लेखक, सार्वजनिक नीति अधिवक्ता एवं नेतृत्व परीक्षक है, जो कर्नाटक के सरगुर और हेग्गदा देवनाकोटे तालुकों में ग्रामीण और आदिवासी लोगों के साथ अपने अग्रणी विकास कार्यों के लिए जाने जाते हैं। आपने 19 साल की उम्र में सारगुर में स्थित एक विकास संगठन स्वामी विवेकानंद युवा आंदोलन SVYM की स्थापना की। ग्रामीण और आदिवासी लोगों के बीच विकास कार्यों में 26 वर्ष बिताने के बाद आपने नेतृत्व, संगठनात्मक विकास और सार्वजनिक नीति में अकादमिक डिग्री हासिल की। 2012 से 2014 के बीच आप कार्नेल विश्वविद्यालय में फ्रैंक HT रोड्स प्रोफेसर थे और कार्नेल और अन्य विश्वविद्यालय में अकादमिक पदों पर बने रहे। आपकी किताबें वॉइस ऑफ द ग्रासरूट और आई द सिटीजन एक विकास विशेषज्ञ के व्याख्यानों और प्रतिबिंबों का संकलन है और अब विश्व स्तर पर प्रशंसित है। अब मैसूर से बाहर स्थित एक सार्वजनिक नीति थिंक टैंक ग्रासरूट रिसर्च एंड एडवोकेसी मूवमेंट GRAAM के संस्थापक और अध्यक्ष भी हैं। प्रस्तुत वो पुरस्कार है जिनसे मानद मुख्य अतिथि को सम्मानित किया गया है। सन 2000 में पॉल हैरिस फेलोशिप, सन 2003 में सरस्वती पुरस्कार, सन 2011 में इंडिया प्राइड अवार्ड, सन 2014 में विवेकानंद पुरस्कार। इनके अलावा आपको और भी कई पुरस्कारों से सम्मानित किया गया है। मैं अंत में यह कहना चाहता हूं कि प्रस्तुत समारोह में भाग लेने के लिए अपने व्यस्त कार्यक्रम से समय निकालने के लिए हम वास्तव में आपके आभारी हैं। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद दिवांग। सर के उद्बोधन से पहले वैयक्तिक गीत प्रस्तुति के लिए CSMSS डेंटल कॉलेज की तीसरे वर्ष की छात्रा ममता कोरवाड़ को मैं आमंत्रित करती हूँ।
नमस्कार।
जी ममता जी।
मैं एक वैयक्तिक गीत सादर कर रही हूँ, कृपया मेरे पीछे कोई न दोहराए। देश हमें देता है सब कुछ, हम भी तो कुछ देना सीखे। देश हमें देता है सब कुछ, हम भी तो कुछ देना सीखे। सूरज हमें रोशनी देता, हवा नया जीवन देती है। भूख मिटाने को हम सबकी धरती पर होती खेती है। औरों का भी हित हो जिसमें हम ऐसा कुछ करना सीखे। देश हमें देता है सब कुछ, हम भी तो कुछ देना सीखे। गर्मी की तपती दोपहर में पेड़ सदा देते हैं छाया, सुमन सुगंध सदा देते हैं हम सबको फूलों की माला। त्यागी तरुओं के जीवन से हम पर हित कुछ करना सीखे। देश हमें देता है सब कुछ, हम भी तो कुछ देना सीखे। जो अनपढ़ है उन्हें पढ़ाए, जो चुप है उनको वाणी दे। पिछड़ गए जो उन्हें बढ़ाए, समरसता का भाव जगा दे। हम मेहनत के दीप जलाकर नया उजाला करना सीखे। देश हमें देता है सब कुछ, हम भी तो कुछ देना सीखे। देश हमें देता है सब कुछ, हम भी तो कुछ देना सीखे। हम भी तो कुछ देना सीखे, हम भी तो कुछ देना सीखे। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद ममता। हमारे आज के प्रमुख अतिथि डॉक्टर आर बालासुब्रमण्यम सर को मैं विनती करती हूँ कि वो हमें उद्बोधित करें।
नमस्ते सब लोगों का नमस्कार। थैंक यू गौरी जी। एंड द सॉन्ग वाज वंडरफुल फ्रॉम ममता, बहुत अच्छा लगा मुझे, बहुत अच्छा शुरुआत भी हुआ। पॉजिटिविटी अनलिमिटेड, द टाइटल इटसेल्फ जनरेट्स सो मच ऑफ पॉजिटिव फीलिंग, क्योंकि पॉजिटिविटी अनलिमिटेड ही होना चाहिए। पॉजिटिविटी के लिए लिमिट ही नहीं है, लिमिट भी नहीं होना चाहिए। And wonderful to see so many young medical students, doctors, people who have demonstrated the importance of not just medicine, but public health as well as public leadership. So I think just being with all of you itself is an enormously powerful, positive feeling. सिर्फ सकारात्मक भी नहीं है, एक बहुत पावरफुल सत्संग भी है। Why are we even talking of positivity in a crisis like a pandemic? जहां भी देखो, न्यूज़पेपर या टेलीविजन में या अभी तो रिसर्च जर्नल्स भी इसके बारे में बहुत सारे लिटरेचर है अभी। Everywhere we are seeing the challenge of COVID. It has been such an enormous problem. I think no generation, at least as far as recorded history goes, including the Spanish flu, would have seen anything like this. Why are we feeling so nervous? Why are we feeling negative? Why are we feeling challenged by this? Is a question all of us have to ask, especially those of us in the medical profession. Because we as mankind have handled a lot of problems. So why isn't this is also seen as a problem that we can manage? ट्रीटमेंट भी दे सकते हैं, मैनेज भी कर सकते हैं, मुश्किल तो है, लेकिन we need to understand the challenge is not in the clinical management. Challenge is not just in the public health management. Challenge is in the problem of the deep sense of insecurity, uncertainty, and fear and anxiety that the entire ecosystem has caused. Because we are for the first time suddenly being exposed to 3 or 4 important things. पहले बार we have been clearly shown how incompetent we can all be, because we are not sure of what is the toolbox to use in this particular situation. Second, the problem has overwhelmed most of the systems that we are all understanding a system. I'm just generally saying about what we think is there, but I will come back to say what is really there. Third, we think that we have no solutions. All these were all the ideas that we all faced last year. And after that first wave के बाद second wave आ गया, अभी तो third wave शायद Delta plus का third wave भी आ जाएगा. And we feel so very threatened and for once helpless on one side. So all the problems of COVID is known to all of us. And once you start getting sucked into the problems, naturally we feel completely broken down, frustrated, incapable of understanding what can be done. And then we suffer from the challenges of mental health. It's very funny. मेंटल हेल्थ का चैलेंजेस तो कोविड के पहले भी था, कोविड के बाद भी रहेगा, अभी तो है, ज्यादा भी है. लेकिन मेंटल हेल्थ, why are we looking at mental health as a problem now? Because we as human beings are used to a lifestyle, a situation of leading our lives in a particular way, and when that is threatened, we don't have the skills to cope. And when we don't have the skills to cope with this new situation, we go through enormous stress. And that stress has got a consequence on mental health. So what has been happening is, since there is no light at the end of the tunnel, we feel that we are all into this black hole, the death trap, and everything is useless. No, I don't say everything is useless. So to me, COVID is a problem. I don't say it is not a problem. I don't want to say it's not a problem. Problem तो है, भयानक problem भी था, अभी भी शायद होगा. लेकिन COVID एक opportunity भी है. So हम उसको दृष्टिकोण बदलना चाहिए. Why do I say it's an opportunity? It's an extraordinary opportunity for us to demonstrate that for the first time, we have shown that science can respond. Now, science might have created the virus also, I don't know. अभी शायद डेटा आने के बाद ये पता लगेगा कि वुहान के लैब में प्रोड्यूस हुआ था, whatever it is. But the fact is the virus is out there. But we have now demonstrated the scientific competence to produce a vaccine in record time. शायद पहले 3 trials के लिए 10 साल लगता था. Whatever it is, emergency response हो सकता है, whatever it is. Today, mankind has demonstrated in 12 to 14 months, if we all work together, science can have a solution. Now, the mutation might challenge the vaccine. It might also become better and better. As much as the virus can mutate, man's understanding of the virus also evolves. We are also mutating with our understanding. And we might discover and make the vaccine better and better. So this is a powerful opportunity to bring out the scientific accomplishment that mankind is capable of. Second thing, I think this is a great opportunity to demonstrate the enormous resilience that we as fellow human beings have shown. Look at, we can always go back and say everything was a problem. Look at it. Despite the challenges, India is possibly, we can talk 100 things. The amount of vaccination we did in one day शायद 80 लाख वैक्सीनेशन हुआ था. Now, many countries are not able to do it in the last 3 to 4 months together. So before we come to the conclusion that things are not bright, we have to look at what are the things that are bright that we can understand from this problem. So as much as we demonstrated that science can solve, whether it is our own Indian scientists demonstrating it, or by joining the group with Oxford and developing the AstraZeneca vaccine, co-developing it, or possibly in the future with Biological E coming out, we have shown that we are no different from the rest of the world in demonstrating our scientific capability. The second big development that we have to understand, we can keep criticizing the government. It's very easy. That is what all of us are very comfortable doing. But for the first time post-independent India, we have shown that public health systems can respond. First wave, it was clearly demonstrated. Second wave, because it overwhelmed us, but look at it, within 2 months, you can always argue and say the virus R factor has come down. But the R factor came down because of the efforts put in by hundreds and hundreds of people at all levels. Sirf doctors hi nahi. Doctors, ASHA workers, ANMs, nurses. मैसूर के मेरे घर के आसपास में एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट हॉस्पिटल है, कोविड सेंटर बना दिया उसको, 16 bedded ICU है वहाँ. And you will not believe this. We all say when things don't work, we criticize. With just 16 young nurses, a 16-bed ICU is being managed, 100% occupancy for the last 3 months. If I look at those girls, they are devis, morning to night, without a second thought. Many of them are young mothers. I know how they have left their children in their mother-in-law's house or mother's house so that they don't want to infect those babies or their families, without any concern for their own personal lives. Day and night they are working. Now that itself, to see that kind of Shraddha, itself is a positive joy. So instead of saying that we don't have enough nurses, I think what COVID has demonstrated is what we are capable of doing with what little we have. बहुत आसान है इस बात बोलने के लिए कि मेरे पास ये नहीं है, मेरे पास डॉक्टर्स नहीं है, मेरे पास अस्पताल नहीं है, मेरे पास वेंटिलेटर्स नहीं है, बेड नहीं है, रेमडेसिविर नहीं है. लेकिन जो कुछ है मेरे पास, उसके अंदर काम करना है ना, that is a great sense of achievement. And we have demonstrated with the enormous resource limitation. The greatest resource that India has got is a conviction of service that our community has demonstrated, the medical and paramedical community has demonstrated. That itself is something enormously positive for us. And not just nurses. I know of ASHA workers in villages. Many of them have not got salary for 4 months. Not getting salary is not their complaint. Their complaint today is when they don't get their PPE, when they don't get the facility to refer take a vehicle to take the patient to the COVID care center. So their concern is not about themselves and their problems in the villages, but their concern is about how they are challenged by not being able to do what they can do for the community. And I think this is an extraordinary situation which has demonstrated the capacity and capability of our people. And to me, that itself is extremely positive because we have recognized hidden potential inside every member of the health community. And I think that is the beginning of change. Beyond healthcare, just look at the way public administration has responded. For the first time, every time we talk of public health, we think it is doctors का problem है, public health professionals का problem है. जब हम पढ़ाते हैं students को, उस समय हम convergence के बारे में पढ़ाते हैं, integrated approaches के बारे में पढ़ाते हैं. Public health पढ़ाते हैं तो बोलते हैं कि सिर्फ clinical medicine नहीं है इसमें. We need to look at preventive, promotive, curative, rehabilitative health के बारे में सोचना पड़ेगा. सब departments को एक जगह लाने के लिए एक platform create करना पड़ेगा. And nothing happened. We kept on talking. Housing is important, drinking water is important, sanitation is important, सब कुछ important है. लेकिन वो इंटीग्रेशन और कन्वर्जेंस का चीज जो था बहुत इनएडिक्वेट था, इनकम्प्लीट था. लेकिन कोविड जब शुरू हुआ, look at the positive that came out of it. For the first time, real convergence of public health happened. People who have nothing to do with public health have come together and they're looking at the larger solution for the problem that they're facing. Not just for public health. Look at within medicine. मेडिसिन के अंदर तो हम अभी टीम अप्रोच ऑफ ट्रीटमेंट के बारे में बताते हैं. Team approach at many levels, whether it's operating room, whether it is in the outpatient, whether it is in casualty. It's very easy to connect, right? But now look at it, whether it's a pulmonologist, whether it's a neurologist, whether it's a cardiologist, whether it's an epidemiologist, a virologist, or immunologist as far as vaccines are concerned. We are forced to align and come together. And we are discovering the power of togetherness. So what was not possible by intellectual appreciation today has been forced by the COVID situation. So I think the positive outcomes, like I mentioned, whether it's convergence, whether it's integration, whether it is recognizing the inner potential of our enormous service providers, whether it is healthcare service providers or sanitary service providers, because somebody has to take care of the mask that people are discarding. We don't think about it. We keep saying mask पहनना है, COVID appropriate behavior follow करना है, लेकिन mask का use करने के बाद dispose कैसे करना पड़ेगा? Who is responsible for it? Thousands and thousands of sanitation workers are responsible, quietly doing their jobs. So many people have demonstrated they're all working behind the scenes. Now, what greater demonstration of positivity that we can look for? Look at our own, yes, it's a challenge, staying at home, managing online classes, not able to go to colleges, not able to see patients in the bedside, can cause enormous stress. But convert it and say, instead of saying what I don't have, can we say what I have and how do I manage? I have online facility, I have the internet, I have all these abilities. Can I do something about it? And look at how do I maximize the potential and opportunity. So very simple things to stay positive. I keep talking about this. And next point, I'll talk and then come back to what we can all do to stay positive. Look at leadership. लीडरशिप के बारे में तो बहुत सारे लोग लिखते हैं, उसके बारे में भाषण भी देते हैं. मैं भी बहुत कुछ लिखा हूँ, एक पुस्तक भी लिखा हूँ उसके बारे में. Look at India. Very few people observed that in India itself, we demonstrated leadership, whether it is the first wave or the second wave now or right now. We demonstrated leadership at 3 levels. And don't get carried away by newspapers and televisions. Television में तो सब लोग commentators हैं. You know, we have situation where सब लोग expert भी बन गए. Just half an hour ago, one of the doctors was telling me, our experts, so-called experts, who are not at all doctors, they are telling them how to manage ICU now. Because everybody thinks he's an expert. COVID के बाद तो सब लोग expert बन गए. अगर TV देखते हैं आप लोग तो channel A में he talks about the virology of the virus and mutation and spike protein, etc. And within 15 minutes, he goes to another channel and he talks about whether vaccine is effective against Delta strain. And third channel is talking about migrants and poverty. Fourth channel, he goes and talks about criticizing something else. So, sab log expert ban gaye aajkal. But apart from that, if you look at the real leadership in India, how it is demonstrated, whether it is state level, whether it is Maharashtra, Mumbai model तो बहुत प्रसिद्ध बन गया. So look at the way quietly they have done work. And we can make oxygen a problem, but we can make efficient utilization of oxygen an opportunity. And that is what Maharashtra has demonstrated. We need to learn from these things. We need to cross-pollinate and learn from each other how each state managed the problem. There's so many lessons Mysore can learn from Pune or from Mumbai. We need to create that space, and this kind of platforms create that. But the leadership I want to go back to. First level of leadership is we demonstrated extraordinary ability to manage a crisis. उसको हम crisis leadership बताते हैं. Whenever we describe it, crisis में leadership दिखाना बहुत मुश्किल है. It is very difficult. We can talk about it. Crisis के बाद postmortem तो कर सकते हैं उसके बारे. लेकिन जब crisis चल रहा है, उस समय में leadership का challenges है ना, that is extremely difficult. And crisis leadership, this country showed in a crisis. How do you create a spirit of togetherness? You know, when I remember when the Prime Minister asked us all to light a lamp or beat the vessels or make some noise in the evening, it looked like A lot of people criticize. But look, in one opportunity, every Indian was made to believe that he's got a responsibility to fight COVID in this country. Obviously, every Indian cannot go to the ward and work. It's only you doctors and medical students who can contribute. But everybody has to feel involved. So that sense of creating a urgency and importance of every citizen participating is excellent leadership. So crisis leadership. Crisis alone, country has to run, no? The rest of the country has to run. The economy has to go on. The borders have to be protected. Trade has to continue. Banking operations has to happen. The markets have to run. And that is called performance leadership. We demonstrated extraordinary performance. So let us not make ourselves feel bad saying that we didn't do this, we didn't do that. Let us look at what we have done. As a country, we have demonstrated such extraordinary performance leadership. The rest of the country continued. Parliament met, budget was passed. Every state continued, every state government is running. We can be critical about our politicians. But the fact that politicians continue to exist, the bureaucracy continued to do its job, the medical fraternity delivered. And let's look at that. It's very easy to say in a hospital in Maharashtra or Mumbai, a rat bit the eyelid and the patient died. But patient might have acted, that's not, I'm not condoning it. वो तो नहीं होना चाहिए था. लेकिन the patient died, even he would have died even without the rat bite. I'm not saying he died because of the rat bite. Maybe he was very serious and severe, but the media can make a lot of these stories. But we have to now come back and tell the world what are the enormous positive achievements. Without the performance leadership we have shown, we couldn't have had such a low case fatality rate in the entire world. Look at our population, 1.4, close to 1.4 billion, a federal structure where the central government can say what it wants, state government can say, I will not follow. When things go wrong, they can blame the central government and say, vaccine nahi hai hamare paas. You can find 100 reasons when things don't work. But with all these challenges, as a percentage, we might say we only covered 5% or 8% of the population for double doses, but look at the number of people we have to reach. Look at the difficult situations, whether it's Ladakh or Leh, and we're able to go and vaccinate. The work that ANMs and ASHAs are doing. Extraordinary performance leadership दिखाया हम लोगों ने. और उसके साथ साथ strategic leadership भी दिखा रहे हैं. We forgot that the word genomic sequencing was never used in the medical fraternity before. It was not even taught in medical colleges. We thought also genetic engineering is. So Hyderabad में cellular और molecular biology के institute में कुछ काम हो रहा है, उसके बारे में तो पढ़ना भी नहीं चाहिए, उसके बारे we don't have to know much. But today, hundreds of labs in India are constantly working on it. We may have to do more. There's always more to do. But look at what we have done in 1 year, whether it is industry shifting production to ventilators, whether it is hundreds of companies coming together and contributing and donating millions of rupees to make sure the whole India is covered with ventilators, oxygen concentrators. मेरे अस्पताल एक छोटा सा अस्पताल है, सिर्फ 100 बेड है ग्रामीण प्रदेश में. And we work in all districts of Karnataka. Within 10 days, from Mumbai, a friend of mine sent 10 oxygen concentrators. From London, one Indian sent me 5 oxygen concentrators. All over the world, we got 400 concentrators across homes in home isolation. We are ensuring that oxygen concentrators are available. So instead of saying that we are all helpless, look at the fact that hundreds of people contributed to keep the system going. In the one organization I know, Seva International, within 1 week or 10 days, they could mobilize an enormous amount of money, distribute it, and make sure hundreds of hospitals in India were fully prepared to meet the crisis. Which country can boast or claim this kind of network where things can happen? So we demonstrated not just government and government responsibility, even private sector did its bit. We cannot exclude the enormous contribution private sector did, and we cannot simply say they only made money. The NGO sector, all people came together, and we showed across sectors, despite differences, we can come together if the cause is for a requirement for the nation. Whether it is the railways shifting enormous oxygen cylinders across the country, whether it is Air India going to other countries and lifting oxygen and coming back to India with the cylinders, whether it is our own steel manufacturers who could stop their production and use the in-house captive oxygen production, make it medical oxygen and send it across the country. Look at the way we have tried to do this. Our small innovations which are being attempted. It has not yet been fully fructified. When oxygen cylinders were shot, a set of young scientists, they were working on converting cooking gas cylinders into oxygen cylinders. And hopefully they'll be able to find a solution for that. So we have not only demonstrated that we can be innovative in a crisis, so we are showing strategic leadership, that if there's going to be a problem in 2 months from now, we will definitely be better prepared. I hope the third wave does not come. But if it comes, I'm confident that India as a country has learned its lessons. We have learned our gaps that were there in the second wave. The first wave was not as serious and as rigorous and as effective as the second wave. Hopefully the third wave, even if it is more effective, I am absolutely certain we are better prepared. Like I said, a small example, our own hospital, 50 beds were reserved for COVID. Non-COVID work started suffering. People with other illnesses started suffering, and we recognized it. And I'm sure many hospitals would have recognized it. So we said we have to build a dedicated setup for COVID, which will make patients feel secure and able to come and attend to the non-COVID health problems. Those problems don't disappear. Cardiovascular issues, pregnancy, deliveries, trauma, injuries, elephant attacks, they don't disappear. They continue to happen. They need care. They need to access healthcare. And engineers in our own hospital, in 10 to 12 days, they built a 19-bed facility. Extraordinary attainment. Fully oxygenated beds with all facilities. Right now, they're constructing another 22-bed facility with ICU facilities, extremely well-equipped HDU. So I'm giving these examples because it is Indians who did it. It's our people who did it. And they are responding to the situation with such dedication and commitment that we thought that we can't do it. So I believe this is a situation for us. We have two options. Sit back and say, put our hands on our head and say, बहुत मुश्किल है, ये तो हम नहीं कर सकते. Or convert it and say, इस तरह का opportunity मेरे lifetime में अभी मिला है मुझे, मैं इसका सदुपयोग करूँगा. I'll bring out my inner strength and demonstrate what all I can do. As medical students or as ordinary people, very simple things we can do to keep the positive energy going. I even today do it. Make a list of 10 people. बहुत मुश्किल नहीं है, आसान का काम है. Friends, relatives भी हो सकते हैं, long people we never spoke to in 5 years, 6 years. Doesn't matter who they are. Simple 2-minute call. Instead of saying I am sitting at home not knowing what to do, पूरे दिन घर में बैठे हूँ, लॉकडाउन है अभी, कुछ नहीं कर सकता. नहीं. So much you can do because we have all been complaining that we are busy. We have forgotten that when we have time, we don't know how to use it. We've all been busy with useless things. So the first step towards being positive is asking ourselves, how can I be busy with useful things? And the best way to be useful is to look at how do I serve others around me. Swami Vivekananda एक पत्र में लिखे थे, मैसूर महाराजा को पत्र लिखते हुए ये सेंटेंस है, बहुत पावरफुल सेंटेंस है. He says, he alone lives who lives for others. The rest are more dead than alive. Now, this is an opportunity for us to show we are alive. Instead of crying that we are dying of COVID, we can say as medical communities, we are alive with the spirit of service. And that spirit simplistically can start by calling 10 people and asking, how are you doing? We can volunteer. We are all half prepared. Many of your medical students, you're 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80% prepared with the knowledge of medicine. You can volunteer in care centers, in vaccination centers. You can volunteer with local NGOs. Do the call center में काम कर सकते हो, COVID call center में काम कर सकते हो. There's so, instead of looking at what I'm not capable of, I'm not capable of treating, ask yourself, what am I capable of with my knowledge? And there are 100 things you can do. You can volunteer to teach young children online. If you're an expert in music, Mamta ji sang so beautifully. Now, Mamta ji can teach hundreds of young children to sing. Somebody else can teach yoga. Somebody else can teach meditation. Somebody else can teach science, mathematics. So we can find ways how we can be useful to society. If you can start thinking beyond yourself. So positivity ka journey starts only when you start thinking beyond yourself. When you only look at yourself selfishly, you look at your time, you look at your entertainment, you look at your going out to eat in a hotel, you can't do all that, you feel negative. But if you look at what can I do for others and start searching for opportunities, that begins the release of positive energy. And that is what a lot of people around the country have demonstrated. And that is what we need to show that we are all capable of. So like before I stop and open it up for question and answer, to summarize, positivity is a state of the mind, but it's also got powerful hormonal effects. जब भी आपके अंदर एक पॉजिटिव थॉट आता है, ऑक्सीटोसिन का प्रोडक्शन भी होता है. जब भी नेगेटिव थॉट्स आता है, and we call them, sometimes we go into the cycle of automatic negative thoughts, and बोलते हैं neurophysiology में. Then we get stuck in producing cortisol. Every time a little micro stress happens, little cortisol is released. An aggregation of cortisol makes it very stressful, then we can't come out of it. The only way to break it, instead of thinking about negative thoughts, ask yourself, what can I do something for others? That itself releases your positive energy. That itself releases oxytocin, and you get back into that spirit of feeling good, feeling noble, and feeling what a good doctor should feel. So in my opinion, medicine is a great opportunity. Medicine is not a profession. My friends, colleagues, you'll all become doctors tomorrow. Doctoring is not about taking care of the body. Doctoring is taking care of 4 things: the heart, body, mind, and soul. Medicine cannot start without the passion to love humanity. So to stay positive, you have to love humanity. And loving humanity means giving love to everybody, irrespective of who they are. Any age, any class, any country, whether they pay you, they don't pay you, whether they come to you as a patient, they don't come to you as a patient. Every human being in this world, without discrimination, deserves your love. And a doctor is one of the few professions where you can give of yourself without any expectation. We will get our rewards. And the greatest reward you will get is that smile on a patient who walks out feeling happy. The smile on the mother who feels that her son, 22-year-old son, came out of the ICU and you saved her family. You can never replace it. So give of yourself. Second, keep growing intellectually. ये तो बहुत अच्छा अपॉर्चुनिटी है. इंटरनेट तो आपकी जनरेशन में तो इंटरनेट एक बहुत यूजफुल टूल है. इंटरनेट को अच्छे तरह भी यूज कर सकते हैं. पोर्नोग्राफी भी देख सकते हैं. यूट्यूब में सिनेमा भी देख सकते हैं. नया प्रोसीजर्स भी देख सकते हो. So you choose what you want to learn. Keep expanding your intelligence. Keep participating in such programs. Expand your intellectual bandwidth. Grow in your intelligence. Third, grow emotionally. Because it's so important. Like that's the heart I spoke. Grow in your cognitive abilities. That's the intellectual abilities. And I would say this is an opportunity to keep yourself physically active. Remember, every time you're physically active, you produce endorphins, which enables your prefrontal cortex to be in control, which keeps you positive. So never forget that your body is a temple through which you can do good. There is no point talking about other people's health if you don't know how to take care of your own health. So please focus on your health. Simple things, 1 hour of exercise. And the greatest exercise you and I can do is yoga. Not only is it Indian, but it has been demonstrated. We have research papers from institutions like even Harvard, not only our own SVSA, but international institutions. We talk about the power of yoga. Can we all practice it together every day? Simple pranayama, 10 minutes of meditation. And if you treat seva as sadhana, that is the greatest spiritual growth you can do. So we are a privileged community. We are possibly the only profession in the world which can work on all 4, heart, body, mind, and soul, of not just our patients, but the more we work with our patients, we work on ourselves. So in our own selfish way, the more you give to society, the more you get. And in our profession, giving is non-stop, which means getting is also going to be non-stop. So my young friends, as you start your journeys of doctoring, remember, you'll not only be able to doctor individuals, but collectively we can doctor society to build a great Bharat, a great world. Thank you so much for inviting me to share some of my thoughts with all of you. And any questions, I'll be happy to spend some time exchanging some views on that. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you so much, sir. That was immensely positive. धन्यवाद सर, आपके
धन्यवाद।
उद्बोधन से हम लाभान्वित हुए। आपका ये मार्गदर्शन हमें सेवा के पथ पर आगे बढ़ते रहने के लिए हमेशा प्रेरित करेगा।
अगर क्वेश्चंस आप पूछेंगे या मैं चैट बॉक्स में देखना पड़ेगा मुझे?
नो सर, आई आस्क।
ओके,
यस सर। सो सभी से अनुरोध है कि जिन्हें भी अपने सवाल डॉक्टर सर से पूछने हैं वह चैट बॉक्स में लिखे, ताकि सर उसका आंसर दे पाए। So first question for you, sir, is instead of city, you chose to work in rural area in spite of having all the resources. So what motivated you to come back?
What motivated me is a difficult question. एक दो शब्द में बताना बहुत मुश्किल होगा, बट सिंपल आंसर है विवेकानंद। स्वामी विवेकानंद का राष्ट्रीय विचार। विवेकानंद एक पत्र में लिखते हैं कि द नेशनल आइडियल्स ऑफ इंडिया आर त्याग एंड सेवा, renunciation and service. And he says, I call every young man a traitor who, having been educated at people's expense, pays not the least heed to them. Now, we think we are paying our fees and going to college. We think our parents are paying for our fees. But remember, most of our education comes because society is allowing us to study there. If all our rural children start writing your competitive exams, half the city children will not get seats. Thankfully, rural children are falling behind. Now they'll all come forward. So others have given up to give you the chance. So start treating it as an extraordinary privilege and an opportunity. So I believe that India, whether it is rural or urban, doesn't matter. India needs the energy of young people. So today, Vivekananda says it so beautifully. And that is what inspired me to go, and that is what keeps me motivated. One of the questions was motivated. He says, all you need are three things, 3H. Pehla H hai heart to feel. We should feel for our country. We should feel for the poor. We should feel for the downtrodden. He says, feel, my children, feel. Feel for the poor, the marginalized, and the downtrodden. Feel till your head reels and your heart stops and you fall down dead. That kind of feeling we must get for our people. We must feel for the millions of anemic women. We must feel for the thousands of Indians who still don't have access to drinking water, who are still suffering because they don't have a toilet. Feel for the millions of migrants who need the next meal tomorrow, not just tomorrow, today. So we must start feeling for them. And sirf feeling kafi nahi hai. Feeling, just feeling is not the solution. Good intentions are not enough. Then Swamiji says, head to think. इसके बारे में सोचना भी पड़ेगा, इसका प्रॉब्लम का सॉल्यूशन कैसा मिलेगा मुझे, ये काम कौन करेगा, कैसा करना पड़ेगा, क्या क्या तरह का चीज चाहिए मुझे. And the moment you start thinking, that is, you're already privileged to be thinking. And the last thing that Swami Vivekananda says, hands to work. We cannot simply get inspired and think of a solution, and I cannot tell Gauri kar do. I should go there and do it. So Swamiji बोलते हैं be and make. करना भी पड़ेगा, करते करते सब लोग हमारे साथ जुड़ेंगे, and they'll also get made. So I believe that is the way we should all look at it. And so Gramin, urban, these are all just geographical divisions. When you start seeing God in man, Swamiji बोलते हैं शिवज्ञाने जीव सेवा. हर एक व्यक्ति के अंदर हम जब भगवान को देखते हैं और उस भगवान का सेवा करना, if you see, that is the real worship. And that blessing is the prasad that you can get. It doesn't matter. You will go seek opportunities, and each of us will go start doing it.
Thank you so much, sir.
Sir, we have another question for you. When we stay in ICU for hours but can't do anything while the breath of patient slowly fades away, when you can't do anything, when you're helpless, how to convince ourselves that this can't be controlled, this can't be undone?
When you start doing this kind of work, it's very easy to start believing I am doing it. When you're arrogant to believe that I am doing it, then you have to suffer the consequence of your inability to do it. But whereas, when you start seeing it as work is getting done through me, so when you become the instrument of the work that is happening, then that is the best approach. But human ego प्रॉब्लम है इसमें. As doctors, when you save patients, people come and say, "Dhanyawad साहब, भगवान है आप लोग," and we start feeling happy. So Bhagavad Gita में बताते हैं ना, स्थित प्रज्ञते. We should neither feel carried away by the pleasure nor feel bad by the pain that we suffer. We should be balanced. So many times we forget we are only instruments. We start thinking that we are the doers, and then we suffer the consequences. All of us go through it. I've also gone through it. Swami Vivekananda writes, all the hospitals you build, all the schools you construct can get washed away in one cyclone, can get crumbled to dust in one earthquake. It's a privilege that you've been given an opportunity to do good. He says, don't stand on a pedestal and say, here, my poor man, take my 5 cents. Don't start saying, doctor in the ICU and I'm the intensivist, I can take care of this patient, I can save him. Say, I feel privileged that God has given me an opportunity to serve him in the ICU. And God decides. It is not escapism. It is enormous inner evolution. Surrender is not out of a sense of helplessness or impotence. Surrender to a higher power must be with that sense of conviction and faith that I am only an instrument God is using in this ICU. And some patients he helps, saves it through me. Some patients he may not save through me. But I am still the instrument. I will give my 100%. Because giving my 100% is my dharma. Giving my 100% is my karma. Not expecting that patient will survive or patient will not survive. That not expecting it is karma yoga. So doctors must learn not just to do our karma, but to convert it into karma yoga, but becoming instruments of the good that happens through us and not because of us.
Sir, another question we have is, so sir, what keeps you? Oh.
Go ahead, Gauri.
Yes, sir. Which book of Swami Vivekananda will you suggest that we must read?
There are 3-4 books. The book that changed my life, my 17th समय पढ़ा, accidentally पढ़ा. I never thought of reading it. I was very badly ragged in engineering college. Engineering join किया था मैंने computer scientist होना. I thought I'll become a computer scientist और विदेश चले जाऊंगा. लेकिन Swami Vivekananda had other plans for me. This college was beside the Ramakrishna Ashram in Bangalore. I was so badly ragged in college, I never had the courage to go back to college. So college जाने के बदले मैं रामकृष्ण आश्रम में जाकर बैठता था और स्वामी विवेकानंद के books पढ़ता था लाइब्रेरी में. 2 small books changed my life. वो छोटा सा books है. I believe every Indian should read them. एक book है To the Youth of India. और दूसरा book का नाम है His Call to the Nation. His Call to the Nation एक book था, छोटा सा book, और दूसरा book था To the Youth of India. I would suggest everybody should read it. But for serious people who want to understand Swamiji and his message, 2 books I would suggest. One book is a book called Swami Vivekananda on Himself. In all his speeches and writings, wherever he spoke about himself, the Ramakrishna Mission has collected it and put it into a book called Swami Vivekananda on Himself. Or next book is, I would say, Lectures from Colombo to Almora. Very powerful lectures of Swami Vivekananda. Every young Indian should listen to it or read it. And I think everybody will then awaken the Vivekananda inside them. I believe Vivekananda is dormant in every one of us. What it needs is that power to awaken. And his speech and his writings, they are the power to awaken us. And once that seed awakens, each of you will become a Vivekananda. And India will be an extraordinarily great country. I am fully confident about that. गौरी जी आप पूछेंगे?
Yes, sir. Sir, you traveled across world. So, what positive difference did you notice here in India and along the globe?
Positive India में, positive बाहर.
भारत भी बोल सकते हैं सर.
I think we are sitting on a treasure. हमारा सांस्कृतिक संप्रदाय और उतना बड़ा ट्रेजर है. Unfortunately, our generation, at least my generation, was not trained to take pride in what we have. It is like sitting in a room with the sun inside and complaining of darkness. I think India has got such powerful learning. I learned two things, and this I'm talking from research, I'm not talking emotionally. Leadership, the message of leadership, we all think is a Western understanding, Western science, but I think it is so strongly embedded in Indian thinking, in our scriptural wisdom, in our civilizational history and wisdom, that we have not understood it. It's our problem that we have not been able to teach the younger generation. और दूसरा चीज है ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट के बारे में. ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट लोग सब लोग हम समझते हैं कि सिर्फ जीडीपी का ग्रोथ या बड़े बड़े शहर होना चाहिए, एयरपोर्ट होना चाहिए, पोर्ट्स होना चाहिए, ऑल दिस बिग थिंग्स दैट वी थिंक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर और ग्रोथ ही ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट है. लेकिन इंडिया टॉट द वर्ल्ड growing human and social capital is what human development is. Now we have all forgotten it. It is your generation that needs to remember and go back to rediscover this powerful message. One side, the powerful message of Vedanta. And the second side, the Vyavaharik understanding of human development, but linked to the spiritual foundation. So the greatest positive I see in India is the potential for intellectual gigantism coupled with compassionate humanism. A combination सिर्फ भारत का है और भारत का स्पेशलिटी है और कहीं नहीं मिलेगा. आइसोलेशन में मिलेगा, इंटेलेक्चुअल gigantism वेस्टर्न वर्ल्ड में मिलेगा, सर्टन बुद्धिस्ट डोमिनेटेड वर्ल्ड में compassionate humanism मिल सकता है, लेकिन सिर्फ भारत में एक कॉम्बिनेशन मिल सकता है. लेकिन उसको भूल गए हैं हम सब लोग. एक जनरेशन के लिए सिर्फ हम we have to again remind them about this powerful message. And once they start living it, मेरा भारत महान बन जाएगा.
बिल्कुल सर. So another question, sir. Where do we see ourselves in the scene where full of loot happening during any pandemic condition, not only Corona? So how I keep myself motivated? How do we save up?
I think this is an important question. We cannot dismiss it of saying that those things are not real. Why is it happening? Because there's a generation of people who don't understand that real life is a life lived with values. So you cannot change the rest of the world. I used to be part of Team Anna in the anti-corruption movement. So I learned one important lesson in my life. There is no point wasting time in fighting corruption. सिर्फ मुश्किल ही नहीं है, इम्पॉसिबल भी हो सकता है, लेकिन आसान तरीका एक है. Instead of fighting corruption, can each one of us fight to stay honest all the time? So let us not worry about others. If every one of you today, 150, 160 people in the webinar today, promise yourself, come what may, I will be honest, I will be ethical, I will be value-based. That is the change that India needs. The best way, like I said, is be and make. First be. So let us all today make a promise that whatever happens, many of us are conveniently honest. जब honest रहने का problem inconvenience होता है ना, तो हम honesty को छोड़ देते हैं. So we should all be honest by conviction, not by convenience. Every one of us today decide that is the only way to fight the loot. You cannot fight the loot by any other method. So corruption के विरुद्ध अगर हम काम करना चाहते हैं तो पॉजिटिव रहने का काम भी करना चाहिए, हॉनेस्ट रहने का काम करना चाहिए, वैल्यू बेस्ड एग्जिस्टेंस का काम जीना चाहिए. So let us live the values we talk. Like Gandhi said, the easiest way is let us all be the change we want to see. That is the only way. So मेरा टाइम हो गया, 8 बज गया. So it was so wonderful to be with all of you. And I got so much of energy being with young people. Your questions gives me energy to go ahead and gives me hope on a Saturday evening to watch young medical students not spend time watching a movie on Netflix, but coming here and sitting itself shows India has got a great future. I am sure all of you will be able to do whatever you need to do to make us all proud and give us back the Bharat that we all need. Namaste.
Definitely, sir. Thank you so much once again, sir. तो सबके लिए एक छोटी सी घोषणा करना चाहती हूँ। सेवांकुर पॉजिटिविटी अनलिमिटेड के और 2 सेशन आपके लिए हम लेकर आ रहे हैं जल्द ही। कार्यक्रम के अगले हिस्से की ओर बढ़ते हैं। धन्यवाद प्रस्ताव इसके लिए फोस्टर होम्योपैथिक मेडिकल कॉलेज की विद्यार्थिनी प्रतीक्षा वाघमारे को मैं आमंत्रित करना चाहती हूँ।
सभी को मेरा नमस्कार। आज के प्रमुख अतिथि डॉक्टर आर बालसुब्रमण्यम जी का विशेष धन्यवाद कि आपने हमारे लिए समय निकाला और हमें उद्बोधित किया। मैं आभारी हूँ सभी व्यवस्था विभाग का, कंसल्टेंट डॉक्टर्स, टीम सेवांकुर और सभी श्रोतागण का जिन्होंने मिलकर इस कार्यक्रम को सफल बनाया। यहाँ शामिल होने के लिए सभी का धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद प्रतीक्षा। अब शांति मंत्र के लिए मैं साइली होम्योपैथिक मेडिकल कॉलेज के सागर बोराडे को आमंत्रित करना चाहती हूँ।
नमस्कार। सभी अपनी जगह पे हाथ जोड़े और आंख बंद करके बैठे। कृपया शांति मंत्र मेरे पीछे न दोहराएं। ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ओम